My disabled California King Snake Lucky is in a serious need for a tank upgrade, so today we're going to do just that. So this is the tank that I've chosen to use to upgrade Lucky's current living conditions. So as you can see, this is not what a typical snake tank would look like, but that's just because it hasn't been being used as a snake tank. I've used this tank for a lot of things, but the most recent thing was my pet bunny, who I kept inside to keep out of the smoky California air, as there's been quite a few bad forest fires here lately. So first things first, let's get rid of all this bunny stuff so that way we can start getting it ready for Lucky. Now this is the place I have chosen to set up the tank in the room, and we're probably going to put it right here. I just got to clear off all of this stuff and then we'll put the tank there. My brother and I had some technical difficulties when we were bringing in the tank initially, but it all worked out in the end, so thank you, brother. So the next step is a really important one, which is setting up a proper drainage layer. Any good vivarium has a drainage layer, which its purpose is to stop mold from growing at the bottom of the tank when you water the plants, because as you water the plants, the water is going to go down to the bottom, and normally if you just have dirt in there, it'll build up in the bottom and it'll get really damp and it won't ever dry up, which is a perfect environment for mold to start growing. And it can even kill the roots by drowning them sometimes. So a drainage layer is definitely a good thing to have. And a lot of times drainage layers come in prefabricated little bags that are nice and neat. If you have the money to do that, go ahead. It's a nice and simple way of doing this, but I think it's safe to say that everybody has some gravel near their house in some way, shape, or form. And one that's even more common is I feel like everybody definitely has a road near their house. On the side of most roads, there's lots of little pebbles. They're less than ideal because there's all of the pollutants from cars and poisons and all this other stuff, but as long as you wash it off pretty well, it shouldn't cause too much of a problem. So that brings us to the next part, where we first start by shaking off as much of the dirt as possible and then washing and cleaning the rocks thoroughly to make sure we get all of the pollutants off the rocks. Boy, did that take a while. Alright, so now I just got to wash these out, which will probably be the most difficult part because I got to make sure to get all the badness off here, all the poison, all that stuff that we do not want in Lucky's tank. So we got the rocks, now let's start putting the drainage layer in. Loud. So we got all the rock in there. Next thing we have to do is put down some sort of screen. I found this little plastic net that I use for keeping fish from jumping out of my tanks. Not sure if I have enough of it left. We'll kind of measure it. So it looks like we have about enough to cover the bottom, at least in part of it. So the whole bottom layer, this is to prevent the dirt from getting into this, which will then cause things to mold. So that's what we're going to do with this layer right here. But this is obviously very bent up. I'm going to cut it to size, and then we'll go and add dirt. So this is what happens when you procrastinate to make your videos. You gotta fill up buckets of dirt in the middle of the night. What kind of creature is that? Neighbor's cat. That is what I was looking for. Shovel. This is the dirt pile. Okay, now that we have gotten this layer down, so that way none of the dirt falls down in there, we can put the dirt in. Bucket of dirt, bucket of dirt. Whoa. Okay, let's see if that's enough. Oh, yeah, that's dusty. Whew! All right, looks great. Alright, now this is one of my favorite steps. We get to put plants in, so I'll figure out what the name of these two plants are and I'll put them on screen now, but oh man. I also want springtails and isopods to break down any waste in there, but for now let's put these in there and see how it goes. Now all that's left is to let Lucky test out his brand new tank. In here, into his new home. At the time of me editing this, Lucky has been settled into his tank for a couple of days now, and he's noticeably more happy. If you liked this video, please leave a like, and share with somebody else who might enjoy this video as well.